Hey guys, it's Morgan. Today I am very excited to be doing a review of the brand new Monster High Haute Couture Frankie Stein Midnight Runway doll. The title for this doll is too long. You can pause to read this little card that Mattel sent me along with the new Frankie Stein doll, which thank you so much Mattel for sending me this doll. I'm very grateful. The exterior on this box is super pretty. I love the holographic detail, little midnight runway on the side. Very cool. The box is made out of the same material, by the way, as the old Haute Couture dolls. And it is, again, super airtight and annoying to open, but that's okay. This doll comes with a little card, certificate, whatever you want to call it, like the old Haute Couture dolls. You can pause to read this. And on the back is a little certificate, which this doll is designed by Glenda Chu, which I didn't even realize because I don't think they said anywhere. I don't know if Glenda designed all three of these Midnight Runway dolls or just the Frankie. I guess we'll have to wait and see. And here's a quick look at Frankie inside of the box. So you guys probably know that I usually don't do reviews on things, but the purpose for me doing this review today is because I want to keep it 100% honest and completely unbiased. I am someone who is very grateful to receive these dolls for PR, and Mattel knows that I love this brand. Like, it's pretty obvious by now. I am basically a ride or die for them, but there's also times when things happen that I don't like or dolls are made that aren't my cup of tea, and I want to go over everybody's opinion on this doll and this line and just give my honest thoughts about it. So let's go ahead and do that. So today I'm actually doing something that I never ever do, which is unbox this Frankie doll. I usually keep my collector dolls in the box because I think they look nicer in the box. Anyway, for one, I don't have enough room to display this Midnight Runway line in the box side by side on my shelf because the first wave of Haute Couture dolls is taking up too much room. And two, there's a lot of dead space in this box. Like, you guys see this whole section on the left here is like there's nothing there, and I don't think the background is like anything to write home about, so I kind of don't really have a problem deboxing this doll. I think the exterior really looks beautiful, but I'm not going to be just looking at the exterior of the box, so okay, I did it. Frankie's been unboxed. I feel like I have sinned. No, it's okay. Here's a quick look over Frankie's details. So first thing I noticed upon deboxing this doll is that this hair definitely needs a brush through, but guess what this doll doesn't come with? A hairbrush. Yeah, that is kind of weird for $75 for this doll to not come with a brush. Obviously, after collecting Monster High for like 10 years now, I don't need any more brushes, but it's still weird that this doll doesn't come with one, considering the first line of Haute Couture, all 5 of them have a brush. And I think it would have filled up that dead space in the box really nicely if there was like a brush there, or even just like a small accessory, like anything. I don't know. That like kind of blows my mind that there's just nothing. I guess the only reason, and this is by no means an excuse, that this doll doesn't include a brush is that I think Mattel has the idea in their heads that a lot of people will buy this doll, keep it in the box, keep it on their shelf, never even touch it, so they have no use for a brush. But again, that puts into question why this doll is the same price as the other ones, and a lot of other things that you could ask about it, but we'll get into all that. So I had you guys ask me questions about this doll over on Instagram, and of course the most asked question is this saran or is this polypropylene? This hair is saran. It feels really nice, it looks really nice, and you can tell because it's not like this stark white color that this is saran hair. I don't feel any product in it. It doesn't feel like weird or anything to me personally. The only thing is this hair needs like a wash to get rid of like the box hair and the little dents from the plastic ties, but that's not really a complaint. That comes with like every doll you get. Other than that, I have nothing bad to say quality wise about this hair. One thing I recommend you be careful about if you're gonna debox this doll is the ribbons have little plastic ties connecting them to the box, so just be careful that you don't like rip the ribbon or cut it or anything. Um, I believe Haute Couture Clio also has the same thing going on. I don't really know because I didn't debox my Haute Couture Clio, but I would assume. Um, yeah, that's just something to look out for. Oh, and the other most asked question I received is, of course, many questions regarding this doll stand. Now, I know saddle stands in the doll community are seen as one of the worst doll stands ever. I have a big love-hate relationship with saddle stands because I use them a lot for photography and taking pictures of my customs, so the stand isn't really seen in the pictures. But for displaying, I hate these stands. Mainly because the way they make them, and I will show you, is that the doll is basically always floating on it. There's like this little bit of space between the base of the shoe and the stand, so this doll is always like wobbling around on the stand, and they will never fully be able to like pose without you having to adjust like the balance on it, and that is really annoying. But I do think they have a valid reason for wanting to not use the standard Monster High stand, and I think it's all because of this jacket. So you can see the material of this jacket. I don't know the name of the fabric, I'm sorry. I think this fabric, like when I was a kid, was used on a lot of like my scene and Bratz dolls sometimes, and this fabric will definitely wear away and like tear and wither and stuff. So like putting this Frankie on and off of a stand a lot will like deteriorate the fabric over time maybe. And I also think this belt is kind of bulky, so maybe the stand wouldn't fit perfectly. Okay, so I'm just gonna be perfectly, completely honest. I actually really like the design of this doll. I think there's quality issues and there is some things that I dislike about this doll, but overall I really like this outfit. It reminds me a lot of like when Zombie Gaga was released, and like I said on my story, if some of you saw that, I really wanted this doll to have Zombie Gaga's shoes because I think that would have elevated the look a lot more, like the stiletto heel and the bigger platform. Also, those platforms are so big, I bet this doll would have been touching the base of the stand if she had some bigger platforms. But yeah, there's a lot of people that really don't like the design of this doll, which is perfectly understandable. I think the sheer fabric is a little cheaper feeling, but I think my biggest gripe with this doll is this mask. I mean, it's like not flesh with the face, and I think it's really bulky, and I just don't like the design of the mask. But I plan on just removing the mask and seeing how this doll looks without it and seeing if I like that more. So I'm removing the jacket, and to do that you have to take off Frankie's like handcuffs or whatever. And some people wanted to know what kind of pegs these dolls have. I think these are just the standard pegs. I mean, I don't think they use those really old ones anymore. But yeah, we're gonna take off Frankie's jacket because I got some questions. Some people want to see what the jumpsuit looks like without the jacket on. And as I assumed, the sleeves on the jumpsuit are very short because this jacket is very form-fitting, which I really like. I think the silhouette looks really good on it. I didn't expect for the jumpsuit to have like full-on sleeves, so. My biggest question with this doll, and I saw a few people ask me this on my story, is if this bodysuit piece is separate from the sheer fabric. Me personally, I don't think it is. I think it's all one piece. But we're gonna find out here and see if it is separate, if there's a little glimmer of hope in the detail. But it's super form-fitting, so I really don't think it is. Also, I find this pretty interesting. The belt, which is very hard plastic, doesn't go all the way around in the back. It just kind of like clips on there. But I would be kind of scared to take this on and off because I would be afraid it would tear the sheer fabric. Okay. This is gonna be my live reaction. Moment of truth. Yeah, it's all one piece. Again, I expected that. I'm not gonna fully take it off. This is attached. I would have been so excited if this was a separate piece under there, but no, it's not. I was messaging my friend and I was like, if this is a separate piece, I'm gonna put black fishnets underneath of it. I'm gonna buy the Zombie Gaga shoes. But no. And that's okay, I get it. Like, obviously, that's what I expected. Okay, so for taking off the mask, I'm very glad they did this. It's just a rubber band that goes around the back holding it together. I was afraid it was gonna be like, what's it called, like a plastic tie into the head, and then like once I take this mask off I'm never going to be able to put it back on, but since it's just a rubber band I think I'll be able to put this on again in the future if I so feel like it. So I'm going to go ahead and take off Frankie's mask. Wow. Okay, so that was super easy to remove. I just took the mask and lifted it over the hair bump and it just slid right off because of Frankie's ponytail. It's a super simple hairstyle, so it's easy to take that mask off over the head. Here's Frankie's mug. Wow. I'm gonna be honest, I think this Frankie has like a way more fierce face than First Wave Haute Couture, and these eyebrows are so gorgeous. They're very angled and angry, and I love how this Frankie looks. Oh my god. Just because I really want you guys to see what I'm talking about when I say these eyebrows are insane and I love them. Comparison to the first Haute Couture Frankie, like, you can see the eyebrow difference. There's a huge facial difference, by the way. Let's get a closer look. Okay, so there's so many differences in these screenings, it's crazy. I would say this Frankie is more kind of in line with Voltageous. I might have to go grab my Voltageous to also do a comparison, I'm not sure. The lightning bolt in the catch lights, there's so much detail in the first Haute Couture wave that is like totally different from the detail on this face. I am obsessed with these eyebrows. I cannot tell you enough. They look so detailed and honestly like hand painted. Like, what? Like, there's a little bit of pixelation, but it's nothing I'm crazy like mad about, you know. Eyelashes, again, we got these very blunt, thick eyelashes. Rooted lashes are not always my favorite unless they're done nicely. I think the original Haute Couture Frankie has like thinner, more like wispy eyelashes, which I like, and the new one has like really blunt, thick cut eyelashes, which isn't everyone's favorite, I know. I grabbed my Voltageous. These faces, again, are like completely different. The eyebrows are a little more in line with being similar, but the eyes, totally different screenings. And I really, really love the new screening on this Midnight Runway Frankie. Okay, so now that I've gone over the details, I think it's time to compare price point, which is the same, $75, and I'm going to be unbiased. Let's go over everything that each doll comes with. So the first wave Haute Couture Frankie doll comes with the doll, a 3-piece outfit with a belt, a harness, a bracelet, shoes, earrings, and multiple hair accessories, as well as a purse, a brush, a diary, and a certificate, and a stand. Duh, can't forget the stand. As for the Midnight Runway Frankie doll, this doll comes with a doll, obviously, a 2-piece outfit, a necklace, a belt, technically 2 bracelets, a pair of earrings, 1 hair accessory, and a pair of shoes, as well as a certificate and a saddle stand. So already that is 3 less items, being a brush, a purse, or whatever. Oh, and this doll has a mask. This doll also comes with a mask. I would say the biggest upsetting factor for me is that this doll doesn't come with a diary. I mean, like, I really love that bit of, like, G1 lore that we would get with the diaries. They weren't, like, anything super exciting, but I would also like to know, like, what is Midnight Runway? Like, how did it happen? Why did it happen? Like, you know? I get that it's inspired from Fashion Week, which is really cool, but also, like, is this something at the high school? Is this something, like, are they in college now? Like, what's going on? So, the fact that these dolls are both priced at the $75 mark, disregarding quality and detail and design, I feel like these dolls are just priced simply at the same number because, like, that is their label. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't really know too much about the Barbie labels, but if something is a black label Barbie, does that mean they're always the same price? I don't really know. Someone will have to tell me in the comments. Um, I think it's all to do with how limited the run is for these dolls, which we still don't know, and that is my biggest complaint with any Skellactor or Mattel Creations release, is that they don't give a number to these dolls. Like, there's other limited dolls that'll run for like less than a number of 5,000, and they do not sell out in the time that all of these Mattel Creation dolls sell out. So I can't imagine that they make more than like 4,000 of these Skellactor dolls. So I have no idea. I don't know why they don't disclose that. I feel like they should. But I don't know. It's something that could possibly be done in the future, hopefully. I would like to know. You know, there is also a part of me that thinks if we lived in an alternate universe and that this Midnight Runway Frankie was replacing what our Haute Couture Frankie is, that I think people would just eat it up. I think everyone would love it and everyone would think it was the coolest thing ever, but it's the fact that we have something to compare this doll to, this Midnight Runway doll, that makes everyone put into question, like, why isn't the detail on par? Why isn't there a full gown yet in a Haute Couture doll, like a ballroom style or, something. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something to think about. Me personally, I love the face on this doll. I love the jacket. I think the sheer fabric is something we've seen time and time again on these Haute Couture dolls, and I'm getting kind of tired of it, but I do like the design of this doll. I think the price is too high for something that we don't know how limited it is. Like, what if they're making like 20,000 of this doll, which I know they're not. They're definitely not. But it's the fact that they don't say it, which makes people ask, like, why is this doll worth $75 or why should it be? Which I completely understand. Another thing I almost forgot about, people were asking me if I like these green streaks in Frankie's hair, and I actually really do like this. I think it's really cute. I was like kind of scared at first when we got the initial teaser that was only like this one half of Frankie's face. I was like, there's so much green in this doll already. I'm like, is there going to be any blue? And then the full doll got revealed and I was like, oh, the whole jumpsuit is blue, which is cool. It like ties it in together. I don't know. I really like the design. I like the color scheme. It's just that $75, which is like hard to justify for a lot of people. I, again, am really grateful for getting this doll for PR, but if like, honestly, if they didn't send me this doll, I was really on the fence. But now seeing it in person, I would have been like, oh, I need that doll just for that face and jacket alone, which is like how nobody else can like say that, because you don't see this doll in person before you get to buy it. You have to just buy it off the website and hope you like it in person, which happens for me a lot. I think I don't like a doll when I see the picture of it and then I get it in person. I'm like, oh, I really like it way more now, which is kind of how I feel with this doll. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I think Glenda Chu did a great job designing this Frankie doll. I think it's really like a more fierce runway look and I like it a lot. Only thing I think everyone would love to see is some more dresses and gowns on dolls. I think we're all kind of over the jumpsuits, but that is like, it's all up to personal preference, sorry. But the design team has nothing to do with the price point on these dolls. I think people need to understand that. A lot of people attack designers for the prices, which is really ridiculous. I will be honest, I am actually glad that I took this doll out of the box because I think Frankie looks way better without that mask on. And I didn't really like how the hair was posed to the side in the box and that like emptiness that the box was giving. It just like wasn't something I was vibing with. I don't know. I feel so bad about not liking this mask, but it feels really flat and super bulky at the same time. I am obsessed with the silhouette on this jacket, though. I mean, look at this. You're gonna tell me this doesn't remind you of Lady Gaga just like a little bit? I don't know. Maybe I'm like going crazy. I will say, and I'll wait to give my full opinions on the other two when I have them in person, but as a trio, I think the color scheme feels off with this line. Like, I think Cleo is super gold, and then Frankie and Spectra are really cool tones, so it's like they don't really look like a cohesive line together, but maybe when I see them in person next to each other, I'll change my mind. I don't know. We'll wait for that to come and bite me in the future. That is pretty much all my thoughts on the Haute Couture Midnight Runway Frankie Stein doll. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this doll? What's your favorite from the line? What's your least favorite from the line? You know, everything. I want to know what you think. I would like to see this doll styled in other Frankie Stein outfits because I think this screening is so good that I want to see this Frankie in a lot of outfits, and I think the makeup is very subtle enough that you can style other outfits perfectly and it'll match. Yeah, anyway, I also did get sent the new Cleo and Deuce Holiday 2-pack from Mattel. Thank you again. If you guys want another honest review like this, let me know in the comments. I did already buy this 2-pack because I did not know that I was gonna be sent this 2-pack. I really didn't. And I bought it with restyling it in mind, so I think I was gonna make a restyling video anyway, but if you guys also want like my honest opinions on this set as is, let me know and I will be sure to include that. So yeah. But yeah, I think I've said everything I have to say for this video, so thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts again on this Frankie or the whole Midnight Runway line in general in the comments, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see ya in the next video.